Do you want to know how to have meaningful discussions with your kids? Well, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about good communication and building good, strong family relationships. We do this through looking through the lens of the principle self-government. In this video, we're going to talk about meaningful communication and what you can do about it. Many kids nowadays don't talk to their parents. Why? In this video, we're going to talk about why, what you can do about it, and I'm going to share with you 6 keys for creating meaningful conversation with your child. The other day, I was talking to a mother about her daughter, and she said that every time she tries to talk to her daughter about something that the daughter needs help with, maybe the daughter needs to be corrected for something, or maybe the daughter needs a little bit of criticism, or maybe she's just going to be telling the daughter that the daughter needs to do something, the daughter will completely shut down and often walk away. She looked at me and she's like, Nicholeen, I don't think I could ever improve my relationship with my daughter because she won't even talk to me. I can't even be the parent in her presence. What do I do about that? So I explained to her that her daughter was having a roles problem. What is a roles problem? Well, I talk about roles in great detail in this book. It's actually a story you can actually read with your teenage children, or maybe any children about 7 and up. It's called Roles: The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. It's a story of a family who also has roles problems. So what roles problem did this girl have with her mother? Well, she was not acknowledging her role. The daughter's role, or one of her primary roles as a teenage daughter, is learner. She's supposed to be learning all the time. And her mother's role is teacher. So if she does not learn from the teacher and acknowledge the teacher as a person who's supposed to tell her things, then she has dysfunction in her family relationships, and it's the daughter who has created that dysfunction. Now, maybe the parent had a role in it at one point where maybe the parent said, okay, fine, I can't talk to my daughter, so I'm not going to teach her anything. Well, now at that point, the parent has a roles problem because the parent is not doing any teaching. If a parent doesn't teach or a learner doesn't learn, like the child doesn't learn, then the family will be in a state of dysfunction. So one reason why children might not want to talk to their parents or listen to their parents anymore is because there's a roles issue. Another reason might be the presentation that the parents have. So you know how you present to the children. Do you present with a lot of emotion, anger, frustration? Do you use a sharp temper or a loud voice? Are you emotional and sad and act like the victim of everything that's happening to you in your house? What is it that you are doing when you communicate with your children? So how is your tone? Do you have a tone of calmness? I hope so. And if not, that could be an area where we might need to improve. If a parent does not have a tone of calmness, then the child usually goes on the defensive. They see themselves as in a battle zone instead of in a learning environment. So that tone could undermine your role. Now, if you need help with your tone, I have something for you. This book is a great help for helping your parental tone. It's called Parenting a House United. It's a best-selling book that I wrote years ago, back in 2009, but this second edition came out in 2020. It's updated with all of the current issues facing parents these days and how to help you be the best version of a parent that you can be, how you can be self-governed and help your children be self-governed too. Our communications with our children should not be strained. They should not be argumentative. They should be predictable, calm, and feel like everyone is having the role that they are supposed to have in the family. Another reason that your children might not want to talk to you is because they've been groomed by people not to. People are not referring to parents anymore. Everyone is telling the child as if they are the parent. The people at the school, the administrators and the teachers, the people online and on TV shows, they are acting like the parent and they're not referring children to parents. It used to be that when we were little, all of the programming and all the teachers would say, ask your parents. Talk to your parents about this. Oh, want to know about the birds and the bees? Talk to your parents. Want to know about Santa Claus? Talk to your parents. Want to know about good character qualities? Talk to your parents, right? No one says talk to your parents anymore. Now they just say, I'll just tell you what I think. Here it is. And so they start scripting the children for us. Because there are so many authorities that are bending the ear of the children, it actually undermines the parents. Even the very schools could be undermining the parents in the hearts and minds of their children. So make sure that you have a lot of time with your children and that you have a lot of time to discuss things with them. That's going to be important because otherwise all those other people that have a lot of time with the children will start to drown out your voice. I have 6 keys that I'm going to share with you for creating meaningful discussion with your child. But before I do that, subscribe to this channel. You're not going to want to miss the videos on here that will help you have a better bond and solve problems in a calm way with your children. Click subscribe now. Number 1, pre-teach. Children are naturally anxious. We all have some anxiety, but children have even more. And then there are some children that have even more than more because of issues that they might be dealing with or how they process. So one of the most merciful things that we can do for our children is to pre-teach them about what's coming. So if you want to have a good discussion with your child, then pre-teach them about when that discussion will happen so that they can prepare for it. Tell them, I want to have a deliberate discussion with you, or hey, come with me and let's have a popsicle on the porch so that we can have a discussion. That gives them a couple of minutes as you get the popsicle and walk to the front porch to get ready to talk with you so that they don't have to worry as much. So pre-teaching is important. In fact, part of that pre-teaching could include how you are going to be talking to them about an issue. So what might that look like? You might say something like, hey, I want to have a discussion with you. And don't worry, it's not going to be a lecture and there's nothing I'm angry about. I just want to ask you about something and get your ideas on something and maybe how we could solve a certain problem. Wow, now all of a sudden it's non-confrontational because I told them what I'm going to talk about. I showed them I'm not mad. I told them that no one's getting in trouble for anything. We're just going to have a conversation. Now, sometimes we do have to correct the children, but those correction interactions are different than when we're just opening discussions. So if you want to know how to do a proper correction, then make sure to read the Parenting a House United book that I talked about earlier. Key number 2 is be natural. Don't worry about being super formal. Don't worry about trying to say everything exactly perfect. In fact, if you mess up a few of your words, who cares? Laugh about it. Laugh about yourself. If you can laugh in front of the children, it decreases any kind of anxiety in the conversation. So be natural, be normal. Just say, hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to me for a minute. I just wanted to ask you about this certain thing that I've noticed. And then just have a regular conversation. And beware of number 3. So what's number 3? Lectures. Don't lecture. Children do not respond well to lecture. In fact, most people don't respond well to lecture. We don't like everybody telling us exactly what to do. We like to think of it on our own. And we like to just hear the truth in a way that doesn't feel like somebody's tearing us down. Oftentimes, lectures carry this authoritarian type tone to them instead of a bonding, unified tone. If you feel like you're going to lecture your children, because you know if you're a lecturer, we all know how we communicate. If we want to be honest for just a minute, we can find if we're lecturers or not. We just examine the next time we talk to our children about something. If you are a lecturer, you will probably talk and talk until a person acknowledges that they see your point of view. But if you're not a lecturer, then you will plan carefully your words, because a person can learn the truth in 30 seconds or less if you've chosen the right words. So you will plan your words, you'll say them, and then you will trust that those words hit their mark. And you'll know that if you have to bring them up later, that that's okay too. That's a person who trusts in another person. When you are a lecturer, it shows you don't trust them to learn. It's a forcing type thing. Don't get into it. This brings me to number 4. After you have said what needs to be said to the child, ask them a question. Encourage them to communicate back to you and then wait. So, number 4 is question and then wait. Think about what they might be going through as you just shared this truth to them. How might they be processing it? Give them a minute to have that processing. Don't worry if there are minutes that go by without any talking. Just be patient. Just look at them with love and understanding. Just say, that's okay. Take the time you need. I really do want to hear your point of view. So just wait. Now, number 5 actually takes place after the discussion, but it's an important part of having good, meaningful discussion with someone. After you've had the discussion about a certain topic, move on. Drop the subject. If you can drop the subject and suddenly become a real person again who can talk about anything under the sun, then that person knows that you weren't just trying to convince them to be a certain way for you. They know that you really do value them as a person. And it doesn't matter if they agree with you all the time or not. You just want to be with them and care about talking to them. So move on to a new topic. Don't allow that one topic to consume all of the rest of the day's conversations. Number 6, have good discussion often. The more often that you have discussion with your children, whether formal or informal, actually prepares your child to want to turn to you for more discussion in the future. Create a habit in your family of good discussion times. This means you might need to scale back other times, like TV time, movie time, video game time, even friend time or hobby time perhaps. Make sure that you deliberately put those discussion times in to show your children how important they are to you. If you've enjoyed this video, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy my next video, which is actually a full class dedicated to helping you overcome some of those traps in your communications and your relationships that you might not recognize you're falling into. The video is called The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. Click on the link to that video now. I'll see you there.